Hi everyone, it's Tom here, Jampot. Um, just chilling, playing some more Galaxy. Let's do Double Dealer. So I've been playing this candy build and I like it. I think it has some like massive turns that are super fun. It has not been working. And honestly, I feel like it's because I just haven't been hitting at all. But I think that that might mean that the strategy is just too like narrow, right? Like that it looks great when it's working, but like none of this actually like wants me to play any other cards maybe or like any other sort of side strategies, side hustles. Um, so when my shops don't work out like exactly in my favor, I have nothing to do. So I think that's my suspicion. That can absolutely happen with Faye as well. Um, but let's just play Faye. It's been a while. You know, obviously, this is pretty absurd. We're not going to worry about maximizing it every single turn, but that's big enough now that we'll take that so that if we get a silver, it's free. So do we need to proc our passive, our captain ability every single turn? Is that the goal? No, it's not, right? Like our goal is to look at the shape of the game and, be healthy enough to um, win and spike when we can and set up spikes. So what helps that the most? Is it Mysterious Egg? I don't know about that though, right? We already took this highly, like terrible stats Rose. Dragonling has to hunt so many times, it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna take Nesting Scrub File because this is like almost a common treasure, right? Um, so we could take Jack in the Box, which is like would be great in this slot, but then what happens the second that we see something that we want to put in this slot? A Shanty or a Wink, or I don't remember if I've Huntsman, but something like that, you know? Like then suddenly where does the Jack in the Box go? We would love to pick up a Jill Sunshine, but are we gonna see it in the same shop as a recruit that we like really want to capitalize on? So because of that, I'm taking Aladdin because it's just chonky. Put this here in case it attacks like a like one attack character for some reason. So this isn't the biggest buff in the world, but it doesn't cost us a shop, and that's like we'll figure out where we're going from here. Like these are big enough stats by like pretty much every metric. So we're just positioning to bully people a little bit. Bigger stats in front. I should have swapped these two. Big. I certainly don't intend to be casting spells, certainly not combat spells, or, like stat spells. This is +4 already. Seems comparable enough. We should just take this. I don't really want to take Friendly Spirit in that, like, I'd kind of like to stack some, like, more pan buffs on it, or, this type of thing on it. But, like, oh, hold on. Like, yeah, I hadn't realized we hadn't done this. Never mind, it's not even close. It's just a little bit narrow. Um, okay, so we're already like not that like we're gonna favor heroes over villains, but there are some that are both. Um, I don't really see the bounty contract getting there in any like real way. I feel like we're gonna just like always like like this is gonna scale a few points and then we're gonna replace things because we've been scaling our shop. I assume that we have Fairy Queen somewhere. Uh, yeah, sure. So this is looking great, right? But like we've scaled our shop a fair bit, especially our heroes. But look at this shanty, right? We can't just like suddenly swap into it and expect it to work. Um, so if we find a sugar plum fairy, I think that's our best way, our easiest way forward, and this enables that. Um, I'm gonna take, usually I like Nightshade much more than Shoemaker's Elves. Is that continuing to be true? I think it is, which makes me wonder what this Nightshade is doing in the deck, to be honest. Like if I really don't want to, I guess the point is that if I don't find my recruits or like Faye, I have something to do, like I spend one shop on it and suddenly it opens up a lot more other shops. So I think in that way it makes a lot of sense. Sure, just glancing at the order for it. Again, like not an impressive buff, is it? But our guys do have like pretty enormous behinds. That does something with blackjack, I guess. I'm a little worried about this blackjack being able to attack because of, yeah, how strong our front line is, but you know, that's not a bad problem to have. I'm off it. Ninja in training, big enough. Could also over the rainbow try and hit something more relevant, but let's just get some like slot boosts going. So I'm guessing, yeah, this is turn 7, right? Just as we're going into epics, and this is when like, this just kind of raw tempo with no treasures is not impressing so much, right? Not that they have like an insane amount of treasures, but we didn't win. Um, so that sounds about right. Which means maybe I need to be doing something else to like prioritize treasures a little more early. I don't know. Don't really want a Medusa. Seems awkward. I don't want to put it in slot 1. We already have like a kind of questionable combat unit there. I guess we're just doing this. I don't believe we've procced our first one yet either, right? So whenever we find a treasure, it's gonna be pretty big. 39 health. Kind of hard to give that up. I mean, this thing's also big, but I think at the end of the day, we gotta use these hearts for something, and I think using them for slot bonuses makes a lot more sense. I mean, this is how we could use our bounty board, but that massive double dealer value, those huge double D values. Cute. This should have been like this. Uh, huh. Looking at this Captain Hook, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that's okay. I think one thing I've been doing a lot is like being like, okay, we're Fae, or like this is our strategy. And I'll like, figure out a flex or two, or, like maybe kind of have a sense of like a strong core that has space for a little bit of, like a random unit or something. But why are we Fae right now, right? Like we have a couple random Fae buffs, but mostly we have some random hero buffs, right? And then when we look at our board, everything says animal or pirate, and none of these say either one of those, right? Conan. So like let's just look at what we have and make our make do with it, right? This isn't like a cube draft in Magic or something, right? Like I don't get to draft my entire deck and then play. I have to play with I have to make what I've got work as well. With that in mind, if I want to pick up Conan, then I'm already like kind of losing this animal saturation. So 46. Sure. That's too bad. But that isn't. I have no idea what to do here. Like things like Cheshire Cat, I'm like, I don't want to have these animals anyway. Like I want to get rid of them so badly. So why would I take something that scales them? And I think like all of the late animals are kind of like that, like Cheshire Cat and then the like stag that makes all of your like animals bigger when they attack. Although that one can do some stuff. But it doesn't like there's it's so like wonky to and like niche to make them go bigger, and then in a turn or two you're just so outclassed, right? Like, but then like literally what else to do with this shop? Like, yeah, I just don't see a Cheshire Cat doing it. This is what I was talking about, by the way. When you look at Lightning Thief and you see an Iron Chest Dragon and a Mirror Mage and a Gummy Worm, and you're like, ah. Uh, this thing can't like kill anything anymore, so I guess we shouldn't bother with it. Uh, okay. Well, it is what it is. I don't get to complain about Hercules this time. This this is not a bogus Hercules. Uh, okay. Okay. How on earth do we get out of this? Ring of Power is not going to get there. Plus 1000 sword. I guess we could hit Flopsy this turn and then hit something off of that. Oh, we have an extra shop too. But either way, Ring of Power isn't doing it. So, and we're so far from doubling cube. Okay. Lich King's Heart? Nope. None of these do anything either. I can't think of a single one of these that matters. I guess this technically with Worm Scale gives this a little bit of health. Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Oh. Things I don't want to get rid of Goldilocks because that's another way we could get out is like stabilizing just a little bit and then like maybe we can throw some doubles somewhere. It's too late for that, I think. But let's not catastrophize. We're not dead yet. I have no reason to think this Jasmine Dragon is going to proc now, so I should go off of that. Well, should I? I think I have to decide this turn. Do I think have any chance of tying? Like, should I put this Mockingbird? Like, one of these. We can't have both of these on the board, I think. Oh, I guess we can because then we have a. Yeah, okay. We can because once this hunts, it doesn't have to be in this slot, so we could still maybe make some use of it later. Yeah, I mean, I think that was all to be expected. So, I mean, everything started going downhill around turn 7, right? I mean, I think we didn't really find anything strong. I mean, like, we didn't find anything that worked with the main game plan, and I was saying that that happens all the time, it seems, whenever you play this character, and I think that's because the main game plan is super narrow. Like, you either just want Fae or just want Candy, and if you try and do both, that doesn't work great. Like, so I think that, like, I'm sure there's other ways you can do it. I think there's probably a fun mages build, and maybe I'll try that out, because that gives you some, like, a lot more, like, to do with shops, right? Like it just opens up a lot, right? Like if your spell actually matters and then like value spells are fine. Your Lost in the Woods is and stuff like that. But you can also, actually take an all hands on deck or something like that. Um, yeah, I'm into that because like I do think that kind of this is a strong enough captain ability that I think it does do a lot of the legwork that you don't need to like do anything crazy to get treasures or anything like that. if your shops are working out, but like, how do you get that to happen? And I don't mean that like you should never try and get treasures, especially like you have this worm scale. Worm scale loves just having a bunch of random trash around. Um, but I do think that like there's there's a flaw with just the like hyper focused strategy. Um, not that third place is catastrophic or anything, but like this was not a good third, I would say. Or I guess it's a good third in that I think that maybe we got a little lucky. I think I would have guessed that this was a fourth place. Um, actually, maybe even lower. This is turn, but like this, basically what I'm trying to say is this is turn 13, and this does not look like a turn 13 board whatsoever. Um, and I don't know, looking at our shops, I kind of see how that happened. All right, bye for now.